Another reflection from today. I've been thinking a lot over the holidays about my assessment expectations. So my assessment expectations is that everybody completes the assessment and that they hand it in by the due date. I do have a lot of learners who stress a lot. I like to tell them, especially towards the end of the assessment season, as we're getting ready to hand in, it is okay if they hand the assessment in roughly around the time of the due date in time. So I expect it to be handed in on time, but it's not the end of the world if it gets handed in up to a day or two later. My justification for that, I'm not going to mark it as soon as I get it. I'm not going to mark it the day after I get it. To be honest, I'm probably not going to mark it until the end of the holidays. But I make that clear to my learners so that they know that they don't have to stress about my assignment. But the problem with that is that they know that I'm okay with them being a little bit late. So it means that they've got this extra kind of gap where they don't actually really need to hand it in. So this is where my high expectations comes in again. I'm telling my students that this is the due date, but then I'm also kind of being a little bit like, yeah, it's a little bit okay if it's like, when really it isn't, and that's not how it works in the real world. And if I have high expectations of my students, they are going to hand in their assessment on time every time. After reflecting over the holidays, I've had a kind of a think about the way that I want to run my classroom next year, and I realize that respect is a really big part of it. I want to make sure that we are all treating each other with respect, and part of that respect is respecting my time. I think that a large amount of respect comes from mutual understanding, and I try to be respectful of my learners' time by giving them the most amount of time I possibly can to help them succeed in their tasks. I do not have high expectations for the respect of my time. As a rule, I have generally taken on way more than I can handle in the past, which is a personal struggle of mine. But I also like to take the weight off everybody else's shoulders and make it as simple as possible for them and as easy as possible for others to deal with whatever they're dealing with. So it doesn't set high expectations for my learners. And respecting my time is something that I really need to learn, that I am worthy of that respect. I should expect to be respected by my students if I am giving them that respect as well. When it comes to respecting my time, I want to make sure that I have firm expectations in place about when an assessment is due or when a task is due.